All right, we're live now.
Good. All right. Shalom. When I say call halal, la Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles of Great Millstone that rule well, and salutations unto the brothers and sisters that take heed. Right. We're just gonna get into different topics, whatever the spirit brings out. All right. We roll in the spirit. So this is Second Ezra's 11, and I'll start off at 37, and it says. And I beheld, and lo, as it were a roaring lion chased out of the wood. And I saw that he sent out a man's voice unto the eagle, and said, Hear thou, I will talk with thee, and the highest shall say unto thee, Art not thou it that remainest of the four beasts, whom I made to reign in my world, that the end of their times might come through them?
Come on, it says,
Um, yeah,
it says, art not thou it that remainest of the four beasts who are made to reign in my world? And who were the four beasts, man? The Babylonians, the Persians and the Medes. You had uh, Greece, Greece and Rome. Okay, and America is the extension of Rome. It's the fourth beast in the scripture, and it said that the Most High raised up America in His world, man. Because ultimately, everything belongs to Yahweh Shemashai. If America wasn't founded on its own great power, that they're almighty. Okay, the Most High set you up for a purpose. Right? Is that
come on. It says, verse 40. And we can get into that. We can get into Daniel 7.
uh,
This is verse 40. And the fourth came, and because see, the thing is, when you read these scriptures, like Apostle Tahar says, you gotta have an understanding of history if you want to get into it a little deeper. Like you can get into it, um, on a general level, but us men of the Lord, the hopeful elect, we have to get into it. We gotta get into every corner, so to speak. You know. So it says, verse 40, and the fourth came and overcame all the beasts that were past, and had power over the world with great fearfulness, and over the whole compass of the earth with much wicked oppression.
yeah, with
And so, yeah,
much and rule over the earth with much wicked oppression. Now, who rules over the four corners of the earth with wicked oppression? Is it not America? Is not America is looked at as the golden cup, as the height of civilization, modern civilization? That to be anywhere successfully, you would have to come where, man? America. America displays that. America goes around the four corners of the earth, oppressing everybody and forcing them to apply themselves to democracy, forcing them to go into their current exchange, their currency base. You can't really do full trading without America's hand inside of these countries. You can't really do any type of currency without a bank, a Rothschild bank, okay, in these countries. Right? And that's what America goes around the four corners of the earth to really do.
I'm just trying to get a word. Okay. And it says, yeah, and also this isn't talking about really Roman Empire, even though they were the fourth beast, but like we said, America's the extension of the Roman Empire. But Rome didn't compass the whole compass of the earth, right? They went farther than other beasts, which actually tells you in Daniel 7, because they conquered the kingdoms prior to them, the empires prior to them, and they went to conquer new places. Like one place they went that no other empire really went to was the British Isles. Julius Caesar, the Edomite, he went over there. So they did conquer a lot, but not the whole earth. So we know this is not talking about the Roman Empire.
And I can add too, Yahushua didn't come the second time in the Roman Empire, so it
Mm,
wasn't Rome. You know,
That's right. It says, with great fearfulness, and over the whole compass of the earth with much wicked oppression,
but
right? And it says, and so long time dwelt he upon the earth with deceit,
Yeah, he
For the
deceit, man.
Mhm.
With deceit,
Go ahead, go ahead.
everything with deceit. They have a term called propaganda. You know that all of that is just. Can we look up the word propaganda?
Kind of look up the word. Yeah.
Because ever since they touched the shores of America, and invaded the Native Americans, the so-called Native Americans, the Gadites, the Reubenites, and the rest of the northern tribes. They've been using propaganda, man, to sway themselves to get over here, to going into tricking the so-called Native Americans to give the lands through paperwork. Though they didn't understand what in the world they were the guy that couldn't understand the speech of Esau, man, the so-called white man, because they were speaking Hebrew really at the time, and they weren't used to all these laws and countries and this section. If you pay off that it wasn't even in our language. All right.
Hey, you know what's funny? I looked at this word propaganda. I was kind of confused at first, but it makes sense now. The word is from 1718, Committee of Cardinals in charge of Catholic missionary work.
Mm.
So, when you look it up further in Wiktionary online or wiktionary.org, it says Congregation for Propagating the Faith, which is a bunch of demons. A committee of cardinals established in 1622 by Gregory the 15th to supervise foreign missions.
Foreign mission.
And what was that? Them Jesuits, man. There's a movie called The Black Robe. Where them Jesuits, they went amongst God in the wilderness, man, in the 1600s, and they just lived among them, and they were teaching them all kinds of madness, trying to brainwash them. What says improperly? It says modern political sense dates from World War I, and it says not originally pejorative. So the word again, propaganda, it was actually the name of a committee of cardinals in 1622. So that's a bunch of demons, man.
Right. And the whole point of them was to pervert the truth. I think
Now it's like the word. It's like the word propaganda goes back to the word propagate, which is a verb. And the word propagate means to cause to multiply. And what are they causing to multiply? Lies, wickedness. It says from past participle of propagare, fed forward, extend, spread, increase. So what does it say about the wine of the wrath of the fornication?
it has been increased. And didn't not the Most High said wickedness has been increased on the forefront of the earth. Hey, that's their man. That's their front line. And guess what? They have a powerful tool called the media to help push that. Okay, that's how he's able to really deceive the forefront of the earth. You come in there, he switch up your dialect, you switch up your education, your views on life to go on what he wants. He influences your country, invades it, he takes it over, he wipes people out, he takes the young children, he molds their mind into democracy and that belief in that propaganda once again, and he keeps spreading it further and further as he goes along. It's not like Esau comes into the country, invades it, take their resources and leave them to think what they want. He literally molds everyone's mind into his thinking. You can in a sense call it in a way cloning. He's cloning everybody, a zombie in his army, in his.
He's like amalgamated, meaning like he just mixes everything together, like ancient Babylon, that one people spirit. That's why they have a lot of sayings. I think the Jamaican coat of arms, they have it, and Obama, he mentioned it too. It's a quote that's really an elite quote, which says "out of many one," or "out of many people one." Which all goes back to what is that, Genesis 11, right? The Tower of Babel.
I have a quick precept because you said that. Habakkuk 2:5. Yea, also because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man. Neither keeps the heart. He enlarges his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied. But gather unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. And there you go. That's his propaganda. That's his invasions. That's his.
Hey, can you Can you send that link in the group chat? Because I sent the link to Awar and it says it's just blank. Like he sent me a picture. It just shows a blank page. Just put it in the group chat. You know, but yeah, like the brother's saying, man, like they went out to conquer. That's why the Spanish devils, they were called conquistadors, which means a conqueror. You know, so man, that's actually a bad word, man. You could actually do a lesson on that in propaganda. That's a good word to look up. But it says that again in the etymology, that which propagates offspring.
It propagates offspring.
So this,
A bunch of
yeah,
like devils, man, running around, man. There you go, man.
God,
Those little offspring,
right.
evil, deceitful motherfuckers, man. So like,
That's right.
go ahead, on.
It says, yeah. So that was it on the word. You saw that scripture. Or?
Yeah, kind of read it again. This is Habakkuk 2:5. It says, yea, also, because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gather unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. You know, and that is evidence of himself, of him going around conquering these nations and gathering everybody in his view, man, in his way of thinking. You know, it says he transgressed by wine. And what's that wine, man? Okay, he transgressed with lies. All right, that's his philosophy, lies and deceit, and he's proud of it. Tell the Edomite that they came from the cave, man. They look at you funny. What? They came from the cave.
Huh.
Tell them that they didn't even invent everything that we use today. They look at you like you funny. Why? Because he's proud on his lies. He's proud that he feels nice when people tell him that he made everything. That he was so great. You know,
God.
these ancient warriors, things of that, man. That's their one and they push, man. All the things that they didn't do. You know, even calling them Romans, they're not even true Romans. They're not true Greeks.
God.
No.
Yeah, because the word Roman goes back to Romulus and Remus, which were Japhetic people.
Oh.
You know, yeah, that was it. God, this is Revelations 20:7, going back to in line with propaganda or propagate. It says, and when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan will be loosed out of his prison. You know, for them simple ass, weak ass Christians. When did that happen? When was Satan loose out of his prison? And where was Satan's prison? It says, verse 8, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth. Right? And that's propaganda. That was propagate. Right? And the Jesuits that was a very big part in spreading madness, because they had missionaries that they went to, not only in the Americas, they went to west coast of Africa where people dwelt, South America, the islands. They were established in a lot of places, man. You know, some of them islands you go to, they'll still have Jesuit missionaries and Jesuit schools that they teach children in. You know, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea. You know, so the point being, after you devils came up out of the Caucasus Mountains, you Caucasoids, all right, you went out and you started to deceive all these nations, which is what we brought out in the word propaganda. That was it on that. So yeah, back to Second Ezra.
Yeah, go ahead. So
Yeah, Second Ezra 11 and 41. For the earth hast thou not judged with truth.
Yeah,
right?
the earth has not. America does not judge in truth. America judges in lies. And then they give you unrighteous decrees. They'll go and jail somebody on the third strike for just stealing, let's say, a candy bar, man. If you're caught and they charge you, and it's your third strike, you're in jail. You know, in the scripture, what does it say? If a man stealeth something, he's supposed to give back double of what he stole, man. That's
Right.
a righteous decree and a righteous law, man. No one needs to go to jail. No one needs to suffer. Just get back double of what you took, man. Esau be locking up Jakes just for his increase of money and his free labor, pretty much. You know, that's why he set that law there. Because guess what? They know Jake, the so-called Negro Latino American, are gonna break it, man. They know that. Esau's been studying us for years and years and years, man. So guess what? He'll make sure that he perverts a law just so we can break it.
That's right. It says, verse 42, for thou hast afflicted the meek, thou hast hurt the peaceable. Let me look up this word meek.
And the meek is the so-called Negro Latinos and the Americans. Though right now they're not acting like it, they're not acting like royalty. You know, they're more acting like savages. That's all systematic programming. Okay, because we really are the meek, man, and really the elect right now that are the meek ones. 2/3 of our people are not trying to be meek. They're not trying to be humble. They're very prideful in what they do. And this is the turning because it says Salakia. You found it?
No, I was just saying. I was just gonna say that Jacob was known as a plain man dwelling in tent. Well, that's like the definition of meek.
That's right. You know, Jake doesn't like to do crazy things, man. They like to chill. They have their 1-2 girls, their 1-2 women, their few little drinks, you know, their nice food, and they like to relax, man. Jake ain't trying to go run up and down a mountain and try to risk their life. And you know, we don't do those type of things, man. And those are characteristics. The Most High's characteristics of each nation, especially the main two, which is Jacob and Esau, man. The so-called Negro Latinos and the Americans versus the so-called white man and the whole race.
I got a quick precept. This is Psalms 149, 4. It says, "For the Lord Yahweh taketh pleasure in His people." And this is going to prove that the meek in Matthew 5 are the blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. That's talking about Israel. For the Lord Yahweh hath taken pleasure in His people; He will beautify the meek with salvation.
Yeah.
And then when you look up this word meek, the word is Ainah, which means poor, humble, afflicted. We just read they have afflicted the meek, the peaceable, right? Poor, needy, poor and weak. Now, the only people on the face of the earth that don't have a seat in the United Nations are so-called Negroes that were brought here as captives, so-called Hispanics that were colonized, the Native Americans were colonized. You people, those people, you gotta go and beg the UN for human rights, so-called human rights, and they still don't give you shit. You don't have a standing army. You know, you don't really have your heritage, man. You don't have anything. So you are the poor, you're the needy, because we're necessities, man. That's why Jake is on welfare, and they'll break any and every law just to get out of there, man, because it's a trap.
Right.
You know?
Because at the end, you don't. So people say, man, like the article said, if you're running a 100-meter race, and let's say your time is like 12 seconds, right, to get from one end to the finish line. If someone shoots one gun, okay, and makes one runner run off and go like 75 meters in, and then shoot your gun, your chances of even catching them or coming first is slim to none every time. You know, so it's the same thing in this. How can you get an advantage on somebody that's holding you back at the starting line and is already running, man? And then when they're almost at the finish line, then they let you run. That's Jake's position.
And then I looked up the word, what is this? Root word, right? In the blue letter of meek, which is Ainah, which means to afflict, oppress, humble, to be bowed down, to be put down, become low, to be depressed, be downcast.
Is it not Jake? That's the name himself. Jake is depressed and low, man. And don't look at it as, oh, we got so-called black celebrities, we're not all low. That's just your thinking. No, as a nation, you got to go beyond the 1-2 individuals, man.
Yeah, those are little small technicalities or exceptions, and really, those guys are still afflicted because they scored their ass. Really. Why do you think they're all doing drugs and all kinds of shit? Because they're trying to forget what the hell they did to get up there, man. Those people that you see living it up, that's not really their personal life, man. They just do that shit, you know, in the club and all that shit. Those guys are depressed as hell. If they ever get their Xanax or their Molly, those guys are killing themselves, man.
I have a quick reset.
Okay, that was it. So yeah, back to Second News 11 and 42. Thou hast loved liars and destroyed the dwellings of them that brought forth fruit, and has cast down the walls of such as did in your home.
And those were the so-called the South, the so-called Native Americans, and the so-called Negroes, man, and the Hispanics, because we did nothing to you. We didn't invade you. We didn't come and take you from your land. None of that. You came into the west of the world and stole the homes of the so-called Native Americans. You came into South Africa. You chased us. We ran from Israel, went into different parts of Africa, and you followed us, okay, and snatched us out from the western part of business just to enslave us, man. Okay, we're at peace with you. The so-called Native Americans and Gadites, they're at peace with you. They taught you how to survive the winter, how to hunt, how to clean yourself and to handle how to harvest the land. And what did you do, man? You stabbed them in the back, gave them chicken pox. I think it was syphilis, Slovakia.
Smallpox.
Yeah, smallpox, Slovakia. And that's
smallpox, syphilis, tuberculosis, all kinds of nasty ass diseases, man.
Done. And that's what you guys decided to do, man. And they weren't doing nothing to you. They weren't even trying to kill you off in the beginning. But that's what happens when you put your trust in the devil. You guys are the devil, man. I don't care what anyone has to say, man. You guys have not told any type of truth ever since you've been in rule. None. You pervert history. Kingdoms, you break them down. You break down people. You keep people at a low estate. You take their self-esteem away from them, man. Just so you can feel better about yourself. But as soon as someone calls you out, oh, you can't say that. You can't be like that. You're going to hurt Jimmy's feelings.
Well, Esau has that ruling class mentality. What proves that is South Africa. And it's not like we keep bringing it up because we care about the Hamlet. We don't give two shits about them Canaanites. But it's a good example because the Edomites, it wasn't even like 100 years of apartheid. You know? It was a couple decades. And these devils are now just, oh, why are you oppressing us? Why are you chasing us? You still have people alive from when you were whooping the Ammonites, man. And they were still oppressing you. So Esau's the devil, man. The real devil, man. You're gonna really ask why do you want your land back, or why do you know what I mean? Like, why do you want your resources, and why are you oppressing us? It's just like Cain, man. Cain went off. He did some whole ass shit, and then when the Most High punishes them, he said, "Oh, it's too great. It's too. I'm gonna, He's trying to find an excuse. Same thing with you whole ass Edomites, man.
When it's your turn,
I had a precept.
Yeah, go ahead.
In accordance with when it says in Second News 11. 1 second, it says when it said thou hast loved liars, right? So this is Psalms 50 and 16. But unto the wicked the Most High saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth? And that's Edomites, you Roman Catholics, you Jehovah's Witness, you Mormons, right? You don't have anything to do with these scriptures. Verse 17, seeing thou hatest instruction, castest my word behind thee. Case in point, the Vatican, one of the biggest religious organizations in the world. They take the word of the Lord, right, and so-called spread it, but what do they do? Man? They're popping bullies, committing all kinds of wickedness. They're not keeping any laws in the scriptures, man. They change the laws. They talk about Friday, you can't eat meat, you have to eat fish. And a priest can't marry and all this madness, man. Has to take the oath of celibacy. That's not anywhere in the scripture, man. Hey. And then you're perverting people to think priests are some celibate beings when they're fucking boys, man.
Right. Hey, what makes it worse is the Pope is saying his words are higher than the Bible, man. Since when? The Bible's been around before.
Even the word Pope from the Latin Papa, which means father. You're not supposed to call him man or father. You know, verse 18 in Psalms, and this is the point: when thou sawest a thief, then thou consentest with him, and hast been partaker with adulterers. Thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit. I'm going to look up this word frameth, which is tazamad, which means to bind, join, fasten, to combine.
And look how perfect that is. How do they combine, man? School systems, your jobs, man, the social media, all of this is a fabricated systems of lies and deceit. From you're a little baby all the way till you die, you're being pumped with lies day in and day out to the point where if truth is brought to you, you question it and you start to malfunction. That's deadly, you know. Even if it's factual, your brain can't handle it and you start malfunctioning because you've been brought up and bred into these lies all your life. And now that somebody told you the truth, you can't handle it, man. Your whole brain and spirit starts having a seizure. What?
You can't handle the truth.
Hey, George Bush said that. When it can't handle the truth. Why? Because the truth is so far from society that I mean, even the most high so-called black man, that is unthinkable. Because what they look at in our position, say if he's like you, why are you in this poor position? But people don't understand. We have curses upon us because of what we did. But you guys went overboard, man, with your whole setup. You guys went onto a whole nother level with bringing us down. Uh, most kingdoms that had us in captivity, that the Persian Empire, man, when it was time to let us go and build a temple, so they let us go and build a temple. You know,
Okay.
said, fuck that. Nope. You guys ain't, I'm not even giving you the breathing room to remember who you are. That's a whole another level, man.
That's why it says in what is it, Micah, about thou oppresseth a man, even the man in his heritage, or is it Micah or Malachi, one of those? But this is Psalms 50 and 20. That says, thou sittest and speakest against thy brother. So who's this talking about? The wicked Esau. Thou slanderest thine own mother's son. Right? Verse 21, these things hast thou done, and I kept silence. And the Most High did keep silence because there was a time appointed where the Most High turned his back on us, and he would not hear our prayers, our cries, or any sufferings, you know. But thou thoughtest that I was altogether such an one as thyself. Hey, we were talking about that yesterday.
It's beautiful.
Hey, these devils thought that the Most High for a while now he's white and he's with the Edomites and God bless America and you know we shall go on and conquer and all this shit, you know.
Hey, because
But
pride is Israel's sinning, man. So to them is hey, as long as they're sinning, man, we're good to go, man. Moses is on our side, justified. But what the scripture will say, the scripture will reveal it.
it says verse 21. But I will reprove thee and set them in order before thine eyes.
And that's the terrifying part, man. That's the terrifying part. The Most High is setting up Israel, the elect of Israel, in order before you, and then you're not seeing it now. You're having multiple brothers right now, probably going live, making videos as we speak. What you have said, man, all your wicked sayings, we're breaking it down, man. We're showing the people what life really is about, man. What the Most High is really about, and why you need to fear Him. You guys make sure not to include the Most High because guess what? All of that takes away from your power. All of that takes away from your intelligence. If people start realizing what the Most High really looks like, what He's really about, that means everything you say means nothing. And we've broken off those chains. We know everything that Esau, the so-called one man, said means nothing. We understand that now. The majority and the masses don't know and don't put in that concept, and they won't know until it's too late. I have
that was it on Psalms. So I'll go back to 2nd Ezra 11.
Yeah, 43.
43, right? It says, therefore is thy wrongful dealing come up unto the highest, and thy pride unto the mighty.
Mm. Yeah, but has taken notice that going back to that precept of Amos 9 and 8, you know, the Most
The
High
eyes of the Lord upon the sinful kingdom.
the kingdom. Okay, the Most High is watching you. The angels are docking down everything you guys do, everything you guys say, and reporting it back to Yahweh Shemir Shai. Okay, everything that you've done is you're now dealing with the Most High. Why do you think all these tragedies are happening to America? Why do you think America no longer can go as far as it wants to go? The Most High is now putting a monkey wrench, okay, in your plans. All right, you're not prospering like you did back in the early 50s, right?
Verse 44, it said, the highest also hath looked upon the proud times, and these were proud times, man. You know, you people are fucked up, man. Like, nothing can happen to you. You know, you live in your artificial bubble. You know, get your food, Uber Eats. You
Yeah,
know, you have to cook. You know, you guys are living good, man. You know, you're not living good. I can't say that, but I mean, you're living comfortably because you're not living good. It's under the deception of living good, like all these things that supposedly that make it easier, like Siri and fucking voice activation and all this bullshit. It's actually killing you, you know. But you people are in this little frame of we're safe. You know? That's why it calls Babylon the virgin daughter Babylon. Um, there's another saying, but basically it alludes to the fact that America has never been touched. You know, it's never been attacked by foreign enemies.
right.
You know, but that time is coming to an end, man. You know, and behold, as it says, they are ended, and his abominations are fulfilled.
Yeah, if they're ended, their abominations are fulfilled. So America's end is already done, man. It just has to manifest on this side. It just needs to physically happen on this realm. The Most High is timeless. So all of this is just a process of time. It's like when you put something in the microwave, right? And you let's say you turn it all the way to 10. You know if you leave
Mm.
it 10 minutes, it's not gonna burn right away, but you know that you want it to burn. Okay, you're gonna sit there and you're gonna wait for it to burn. It's not gonna happen instantaneously, but you know it's gonna get to that point. That's the Most High.
It is inevitable.
It is inevitable. That's how the Most High is, man. He's sitting there. He knows. He has a timer on, and it's clocking down. It's getting heated up. And he's just waiting for it to be where he wants it to be. That's all it is, man. You guys are in a microwave of a trap. You guys sunk your own self in your own pit. Okay, and the timer is
Yeah,
running.
that's in the Matrix, man. I think the second or third one. I think they use that word a lot, man. Agent Smith, he kept saying, it is inevitable, and he kept saying inevitability. So if you look up this word inevitable on Item Online, it's an adjective which means unavoidable. um,
Unavoidable.
from in meaning not, opposite of, or uh, opposite of avoidable or not avoidable.
Unavoidable. So you can't escape this thing, man. Hey, that's why it says you've the heathen dug a pit and sunk in it.
Mhm.
You can't escape now, man. It's too late. You've already done the damage. Now you gotta clean it up. And the only way you're gonna clean it up is by your own bloodshed. Okay, you did the bloodshed. You gotta pay with the bloodshed. Why do you think majority of Esau hasn't migrated out of the western part of America? You guys are stuck here because your blood has to clean this place, man. Why haven't they not
Yep.
moved to Europe and just stayed over there? Because Most has the spirit on you to stay here.
Europe is fucked. Europe is overrun with refugees now.
Huh.
Europe, there's not, the Edomites are getting chased down in Europe too. You know,
Hey, I have a quick preset.
um, yeah.
Isaiah 2:11. The lofty looks of man shall be humbled, and the haughtiness of men shall be bowed down, and Yahweh Shem Shai, so like Yahweh Shem Shai alone shall be exalted in that day. For the day of Yahweh Shem Shai army shall be upon everyone that is proud and lofty, and upon everyone that is lifted up, and he shall be brought low. So
Mhm.
you guys being in your present time, being proud of being an American, being proud of so-called modern civilization, most I say is going to bring that low. That's why you trying to strive to be anything major in this time is you're really wasting time. I mean, if you knew that the end was gonna happen, right? Are you gonna go that hard for it? If you knew that there was no way to prosper and it's just gonna all go to waste, are you gonna really put your time and invest your time into that? No, man, you wouldn't. So I don't know why Esau's out here. Well, we do know why, because Most High has you in a trick bag. You're out here laughing
Yeah,
at.
just like Pharaoh, right, with Egypt. He didn't really want to even do it, but it says the Most High hardened his heart, man. And it actually says in Second Ezra too, right? And what was that chapter 13 about they shall be, they're gonna be like women, but the Most High, but they shall yet durst fight. Roughly paraphrasing, so they're gonna be shitting bricks, but the Most High is gonna put that demon on them, man, to keep rebelling. And even when the missiles are going off, it tells you in Revelations there's going to still be people cursing and blaspheming the Most High, and they should be gnashing of teeth. For the plagues, man. Them plagues are going to be coming. They're going to be cursing the Most High, and them plagues are going to keep coming. Because they're going to blame the Most High. And they're going to blame the prophets too. That's why it says, we're going to get chased, but we pray that the Lord sets up that standard, man. Because it's not going to be like in the ancient world where all the prophets are going to get put to death, man. There's going to be men with powers, man. There's going to be certain men with spiritual powers. You run up on them, man, they're going to do some Dragon Ball Z shit, man. Real talk.
Yeah, and if you've seen the early episode of Dragon Ball Z, Raditz came, right? What did you have? He's like, he's like, you're on my land, da, 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 and he tried to shoot him, and Raditz just caught the shit, man. That's what's going to be. Man. You're gonna have Dragon Ball Z characters out here just catching it, bullets bouncing on you, just thinking like, boom. Like.
Yeah, there's the part with it was a Goku's son and Trunks' son, I think. No, it was Trunks when he was young. I think it was in one of them old movies, but they were when they were kids, they were flying in the air, and then I think there was tanks and shit, and they were like shooting projectiles and shit, and they were just like hitting them and blocking them away and playing with it. They were kids, man.
Hey, you're gonna have a lot of those happening, man. All of a sudden, and hey, that's another way of crushing Esau's pride, because Esau's pride is in his guns, man. In his, when that when they try to kill the elect and they can't kill him, like, fuck. At that point, all hope is lost for them, man. Because they're like, shit, the world put so much time and effort to create, to learn how to kill it. And imagine he's gonna be pulling out his top stuff, the stuff that you haven't seen on markets or nothing yet, man. And when he sees that's not working, he's gonna be like, fuck, man, we're finished, man. Laughing is gonna be out the window. Then they're gonna know that, yo, this is a serious thing that's going on, man.
Verse 45, and therefore appear no more that eagle, nor thy horrible wings, nor thy wicked feathers, nor thy malicious head, nor thy hurtful claws, nor all thy vain body. Which all those things, the wings and the feathers and the heads, those are all different Caesars and kings that the Romans had, the Edomites. That all the earth may be refreshed. So when the Edomites are in rulership, the earth is not refreshed, man. The earth is polluted.
All right.
And may return, and that proves that, man. In the kingdom, everything is gonna be refreshed, man. Like right now, like it's even hard to imagine, because the earth is so damaged, and the earth is mourning, man. Like it's just a crazy place, But the Most High is gonna purify it, and He's gonna refresh it.
I have a quick preset.
When
the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked, the people mourn, and that's also including the trees, nature in itself, the animals, they're mourning. Like, look at all the animals that Esau comes across. They put them in cages. We were just talking about that whole Free Willy thing, with man. You imagine you're in a big ocean, you get to go wherever you want, eat as much fish as you want, chill.
Yep.
And put you behind bars, make you sleep in a square box, okay, swim around in the same pool forever, makes you do tricks, all that, man. That's hell. That's mourning in itself. And then on top of that, you're ripped from your family. Hey, isn't that no different than what they did to the so-called Native Americans, the Negroes, and Hispanic tribes? I see, that's how Esau goes around the world, man. Even if you watch documentaries of like animal hunters or anything that Esau goes to investigate, he has to trap it first, experiment on it, see what it's about, torture it a little bit, and then he'll display it on the TV like it's such a beautiful thing to do. Oh, she's a beaut. I'm
Mhm.
gonna sting her.
Hey, Ox, that's the spirit you just brought that out because these fucking devils, man. Congress passed a bill allowing you to hunt hibernating bears in Alaska. You know, so them bears are obviously sleeping, and you can go run up on them and kill them and take whatever, use them for whatever. That's a devil, man.
And then guess what? When it starts coming down to a few numbers, then they're gonna say it's illegal when they damn near wiped out the whole population.
Yep. Yeah. Then they'll have, oh, we need Earth Hour and global warming and all that shit.
Coming.
Shalom, brothers. Shalom, okay.
Hey, Shalom.
Because Esau, and that's the thing, man. That's why I hate watching documentaries with Esau and animals, because he displays it like it's such a beautiful thing to have them in captivity. Oh, we feed them, without us being, they talk like without us being around, those animals would be dead or worse off, man.
Mm-hmm.
And that's far from the truth, man. Esau has damn animals so aggravated or so cooped up. You showed me yesterday, Elder. You have gorillas attacking, trying to break the windows. Silverback gorillas.
Mm-hmm.
Man, these animals are in misery.
Yep. I'm gonna read again. Leviticus 11:46. That all the earth may be refreshed and may return, and being delivered from thy violence, and that she may hope for the judgment and mercy of him that made her. You see, it says being delivered from thy violence, right? So the devil Esau, he brings nothing but violence to the earth. You know?
Yeah, I got a good precept.
That was it.
I got a this is Revelation 6:4. It says, and there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that
Mhm.
kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. And I'll go down to verse 8. It says, I looked.
That's the Edomite. So their job is to literally take peace from the earth. You know? They have the UN so-called peacekeepers. Well, they're finding out that all they're doing is just looting and raping women.
That's true.
And popping little boys. You know,
sterilizing women too. That's right.
Yeah, sterilizing people and hey, what's that shit called? The Red Cross,
Yes.
which is a goddamn it's
FEMA.
It goes back to the Templars anyway, the cross. But when they went to Haiti, it was uncovered that they were actually stealing children and putting them on the black market for their organs, man.
John.
You know?
Hey, that's why you can't trust anything that Esau sets up, man. Anything that Esau...
Well, that's what the scripture says. Never trust thine enemy. Not 500 years from now, not in 1,000 years. It says never trust thine enemy, man. Because you jakes, man, you Black Lives Matter. Black Matter, thing bit of 60. That there's some good Edomites that you can teach to not be racist. Well, racism is taught. It's not born with. It is born with, man. These Edomites. I'm gonna get that scripture about
those
how does it go again? Slakia?
The group was called Oxfam, Great Britain. Esau disguised himself as some type of aid or help group, right? He comes in humility, he's here to help, but really he's coming to cause straight up when you get sodomized, you get demons on you, and Esau knows that. He knows that left side wisdom. He has that knowledge on that left side, and he uses it to control people, man. Because The Rock, they remember on Saturday Night Live, they had that video where they had that what was it, that molesting robot?
Oh yeah. That was
And he
crazy,
said,
man.
yeah, and that was heavy. Yo, a lot of that went over everybody's head, man. Because once
That
you
was the
molest
spell, man.
a child, that's left-sided magic, man, left-handed magic, sex and magic, Aleister Crowley, and they knew once you molested the child, that child's gonna continue that whole wicked, spirit, man, of just
Well, you're
going.
talking about the time when The Rock was on the thing, and they said that pick the most craziest villain you can think of to become or some shit, and he said
It was
he
off.
became the pedophile doctor or some shit.
I don't know if that's the same thing. It was off of Saturday Night Live, I believe, and
Yeah, he was on
made a
Saturday
robot.
Night Live.
He
Yeah,
made a
yeah.
robot that would go, which was all jacked up, man. So yo, they did that. They used that same knowledge in Haiti, man, because that was they're calling it this is Oxfam. It says the government of Haiti has suspended the aid group. You see Esau coming to help you. Never trust your enemy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Aid group Oxfam, Great Britain, for 2 months while it investigates allegations of sexual misconduct by charity employees in the aftermath of the devastation 2010 earthquake. So here it is. Levi gets jacked up, beat. They're wounded, and Esau goes over there to take advantage, man. That's evil, man. That's like, brother, you Gabarba, you read the scripture there, man. He took peace from the earth, man.
Hey, going back quickly, let me go to verse 8 because you brought that out. It says,
Hold on. I had a thoughts about the point I want to bring out about these Edomites. You can't reteach these Edomites, man. That's what it says in Isaiah 26:10. I believe
That's right.
both favor bestowed unto the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness.
That's right.
This is Psalms 58:1. Do ye indeed speak righteousness, O congregation? Do ye judge uprightly, O ye sons of men? Yea, in heart ye work wickedness. Ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. This is the point, verse 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies.
there's no hope to teach them the truth, man. From the minute they're born, they're liars. From the minute they're born, all they care about is deceiving you. That is a devil spirit that they have, man.
That's true.
That's why when you see someone trying to teach you, you're wasting your breath. Okay, they'll take that. Hey, elder, like those Jakes. When we're seeing them teaching across the table.
We can't call each other elder, my brother.
Yeah. Con.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying from the apostles.
Con.
You know who said that? Feel that deal with it was set up, remember in the book of Genesis, the 4th chapter, the Heavenly Father told Cain. He told Cain, if you're gonna do well, you're gonna be accepted. But sin lieth at the door, and unto thee shall be his desire.
Con.
Mm-hmm.
I'm holding it right now. But you finished with that scripture?
Yeah, this is verse 4. The poison is like the poison of a serpent, and that shows you who's the serpent. They're like the deaf adder, which is another word or another kind of snake, that stoppeth her ear, right? Which
so he can't hear it, man.
Yep.
That also goes in the book of Genesis. All your life you're gonna eat dust, and you're not really gonna get this knowledge, because he's gonna be crawling on his belly,
Mm-hmm. It says, which will not hearken to the voice of charmers, charming never so wisely, which was the prophets. Those are the charmers, right? And that was it. That was the point.
Okay, and I'll jump to this quick script right here. Genesis 4 and 6. Y'all can hear me though, right?
Okay.
4 and 6. And the Lord said unto Cain, why art thou wroth, and why is thy countenance fallen? It says, if thou do well, shalt thou not be accepted? And if thou dost not well, sin lieth at the door. So the door of his heart, right? Or your mind, right? And unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over. So what's that telling you right there, man? he sealed the deal, man, in the beginning.
Con,
You know,
con.
son of perdition. That's what you go into, man.
That's right. And because the Most High gave him that blessing, that you get the fruitfulness of the earth, you know, through the earth, he took him into a whole another level with his sins, man, his wickedness. You know,
That's right.
you know, he can't go a day with the what Saint Micah that they can't even go to sleep, you know, without doing some type of wickedness, man.
Every desire, lust, concupiscence, abominations. That's what Esau. That's what is in his heart, man. Because I was thinking about I don't know if I lost it, but everything that's against the spirit of the Yahweh Shem Yahushai, Esau promotes that. He's absolutely opposite of righteousness, man. Everything he does, everything you want, like, desires, you know, what's that? Greed, you know,
Covetousness.
everything, man. You can't, everything. This guy's a cocktail, man, of STDs, man. He ain't right. That was it pretty much right there.
Can you read that? Sure.
Sage?
Can you read it? Sure.
Read it again?
Fine.
Okay, this is Genesis chapter 4 and 6. And the Lord said to Cain, why art thy wrath, and why is thy countenance fallen? And isn't that messed up? At this time, didn't he already kill his brother? Or no, he didn't kill his brother yet. That's right?
Fine.
He didn't kill his brother yet. Okay, all right. It says, and why is thy countenance fallen? If thou do well, shall thou not be accepted? And if thou dost not well, sin lieth at the door, and unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him.
Yes, but and the Most High already gave him an option, really, because he said, "Hey, if you do well, then you'll be all right. You know, you'll be okay. But if you don't, then that desire is going to take over you." And what is the ultimate desire that took over Esau, man? Trying to be a whole, take over the whole planet for himself. Hey, he's trying to take the birthright for himself, man.
Con.
Guy's taking over him to the
Yeah, that was during the time you're reading the offering that they did, and then right after he killed his brother, you know, because he couldn't take the rebuke, you know, he got offended like a whole ass Edomite.
Whole ass nigger, yo. That's right. That's the original nigger right there, boy. And he was black too. He was a nigger too. Cain. He had melanin.
That's right. He had the melanin.
So he got marked.
He was a melanated devil.
He was a melanated little serpent, man. I got a precept. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 16, and it's like 17 and 13. It says, "Arise, O Lord, disappoint him." It says, "Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword." And you know what? It was already set up in the beginning who was going to be the righteous and the wicked, because remember, Cain's name in the Hebrew is Kayan, which means a dagger. So he already had that omen that he was going to be what does a dagger represent anyways? It represents bloodshed. So he was already going to be a bloodshedder in the beginning. So free will, like the Heavenly Father gave him the option, but he didn't heed onto it, man, because he showed that he didn't fear the Most High, man. You know, and he wasn't gonna be satisfied with his portion, because the spirit of Cain and Esau are the same, and the scriptures say he that seeketh for riches,
spirit Esau with Cain.
The scriptures say he that seeketh for riches will not be satisfied with his portion. You know, and Cain got, Esau got his portion, right? He got his portion of land, but he wasn't satisfied with it. That's why he's taking up the whole world, trying to get that birthright.
But it says that he,
What I just said about Cain being, or Esau being Cain, this is 1 John 3:12. Not as Cain, who is of that wicked one, and slew his brother. And wherefore slew he him? Because his own works were evil, and his brother's righteous. And that again goes back to Jacob and Esau, And then I just called him a wicked one. So go to Job 9:24. There's your proof.
Yo, you know what? My kids, my two sons, they go to like a Ukrainian school, and you could tell, like, when it comes to athleticism and even intelligence, Jake's are gonna go high and beyond, and they're already they're one's 10 or 11, the other one's 9, and they're already going through, like, you could say, racism. All right, Esau showing that he hates Jake, and my kids are that young. That's showing you that enmity between Esau and Jacob exists even in a damn elementary school, man. And the grown teachers are saying madness to the kid, like, oh, I don't want. My son told me today, the teacher came up to him the other day and said, I don't want to see your skin color again. I'm like, what?
Are you serious?
Yeah, he said, I don't want to see your skin tone again. Yo, they hear that stuff but the thing is, they hear that. I hear that quite often from them, right? But I through the Spirit.
That proves, brother, you're in Winnipeg, and Winnipeg was deemed as the most racist city in Canada. Yes.
These Ukrainians are like, they're Russians, man. To me, they're Russians. Because
Ukraine was part of USSR.
They're racist as a motherfucker, man. All right, so they light skin too, man. Them kids are light skinned. Lighter than the brown paper bag still.
That's a devil, man.
That's true, man. It's a damn devil. But I build them up, and they ain't soft like that. So they know they got that blessing of melanin, and they know they're Jake, so they don't take that madness to heart, man. So I could finish off. Did you finish with yours up?
Fine.
This is going into verse 14. It says, I'll start 13 again. It says, arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down. And what does that mean, cast him down? Meaning that they're in power. Okay, yep. They're in a high state, man. Esau's in power right now. He's in his heaven. It says, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked. Job 9:24, right? Which is thy sword from men, which are thine hand, O Lord. So this is the Most High's. This in his movie. These are the characters, and he's what do you call it? Marionette? Is that what they call him? A marionette is one who controls puppets, right?
Yep.
It says, from men of the world which have their portion in this life, whose belly thou fillest with thy hid treasures. They are full of children. Sluggy? You still there?
Con.
Okay. It says they are full of children and leave the rest of their substance to their babes. Come. That's it.
Can I come back?
A quick precept, because we're going into Cain being the dagger, and Esau being the sword. And this is the Most High actually giving him that blessing, which he created him to be in the first place. This is Genesis 27:40. And by thy sword shall thy live. And that's how Esau lives, man. Esau lives by that sword. That's why it caused so much terror, because that's the Most High's sword. That's why he was able to take us down, because the Most High used that weapon against us, which is Esau. But at the same time,
how did that sword help him going to the west with the Issacharites and Gadites, right? When they had man, all you got to do is just research American history. You find out these white people are devils, man. They had everything east of the Mississippi River established. So then you had this thing called the Trail of Tears, where they expelled a lot of Gadites. Basically, they thought everything west of the Mississippi was like a desert, because they didn't so-called discover it. So they just said, just go over there. But then these devils started to go over there. Like one prominent or two prominent devils was it Clyde? Not Bonnie and Clyde, but Clyde. I forget. There's two devils, man. They went all the way to basically like Oregon, to the Oregon Trail, and they were helped by a lot of Gadites, which our people fell, man. It was prophecy, but they started discovering shit, and Esau slowly started going, and he said, "Oh no, there's more shit here. There's gold here. Look, there's this here," and then they just went and conquered there, man. So they don't have enough, man. They as you read, right, in Habakkuk about he is as hell, enlargeth himself, he keepeth not at home. There's actually a good show called Into the West. It was directed by Steven Spielberg, man, and they show you how they went from the east. It's a mini series, worth to watch. They went from the east to the west, and they started building the railroad system. How they started doing that.
That's like yeah, I was just looking at that quick note there.
And like even the point of Mexicans, you talking all this shit, man. Proud ass Edomites, man. When America got all those states, Texas, New Mexico, California, Nevada, all these southwestern states through conquering, through and Esau loves that word. Oh, what about conquering? People that conquer. Like Esau, hey man, you talk to these Edomites on Facebook, or you see some dumbass comment and you must engage sometimes. These devils will pull that word, man. They'll say, oh, what about all nations conquered and all peoples were enslaved and talking all this shit, man. But then when you research that history, no nation was so wickedly oppressed as Jake, man.
They use cognitive dissonance on that madness. Man. That's cognitive dissonance. Oh, well, everybody knows.
Well, that does make sense. The Romans conquered. Everyone conquered. That's stupid, man.
Just to justify, man. Everybody had somebody enslaved. Everybody's slaves. That's all making excuses, man.
You're like that Irish guy that came up on Saturday, which he could have been a Jake. I got mad at him, but then I looked at him. I said the way he came up. But he's like, "What about the Irish? What about the Irish indentured servitudes? And this is Canada. If you don't like it, you can get out of here and all this shit." That's Esau's favorite line, man. Why are you here? This is Canada. This is, that's his favorite line, man. This is Canada, and like it means something when they say that. This is Canada. Well, let's find out what it means. This is Canada. You stole the Negroes, and you made them build up your so-called cities, and you committed genocide against the native people with the Gadites, So let's talk about this is Canada.
Wow.
We don't want to go there, man.
You could here I got Malak, you done with that precept?
Fine.
This is a book of let me start at this book of Psalms 109, and the point is that at 6 it says, "Hold not thy peace, O power of my praise, for the mouth of the wicked and the mouth of the deceitful are open against me." And that's that slander that they speak against the tribes, man. It says they have spoken against me with lies. Plug it.
It says thou slanderest thine own mother's son.
That's right. It says they have spoken against me with lying tongue, then compassed me about also with words of hatred, and fight against me without a cause. Is not Cain? Is that the spirit of Cain? He really didn't have a reason, man. He hated us without a cause. Right. It says, "For my love, they are my adversaries. But I gave myself unto prayer, and they have rewarded me evil for good and hatred for my love." Isn't that what they did to Gad? Right? Gad helped them out. They made him gave him the ability to survive through the winters, right? And what they do, they returned evil for good. It says they have rewarded me evil for good and hatred for my love, because Gad showed them love, man. You know, the trio, all the tribes probably most likely showed them love, man, because that's
All
how
of them did. Yeah, all of them did.
good. It says, "Set thou a wicked man over him." You hear that? Set thou a wicked man over him, and let Satan stand at his right hand. You know, and that's heavy, man. That's heavy.
Hey, brother, I
Yo,
wanted to just bring to a point on what you just said. It just came in my mind from the book The 10 Tribes, right? By Timothy R. Jenkins. This is from page 105, and whenever someone gets a thought, just interject. It says, in the year 1620, a sermon was preached at Plymouth by the Reverend Mr. Cushman, from which the following extract is taken relative to the treatment they received from the natives. It says, and this is the quote: "The Indians are said to be the most cruel and treacherous people in all these parts, even like lions. But to us, they have been like lambs."
He's been like,
right?
It's a lion. Yeah, we're just reading that, and he's lying, man.
Hey, that's in I put the precept here, Deuteronomy 33:20, because it says Gad is like dwelleth as a lion, right? But and then he says, "But to us they have been like lambs, so kind, so submissive and trustful." It says, "As a man truly said, many Christians are not so kind or sincere."
You know, that goes into Deuteronomy. It says that our men were delicate. You know, Gad was delicate, man.
That's right. Yep. It says, "Though when we came first into this country, we were few, and many of us very sick, and many died by reason of the cold and wet, it being the depth of winter, and we having no houses or shelter. Yet when they were not 6 able persons among us, and the Indians came daily to us by hundreds with their sachems," which is like a priest or kings, "and might in 1 hour have made dispatch of us. Yet such fear was upon them, and they never offered us the least injury in word or deed." And it was a spiritual thing the Most High put upon them, that they wouldn't tear them up. Because in Jamestown, Virginia, they could have killed all those Edomites, and that could have been the end of that.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, that's true.
But then where would we be? We wouldn't be here right now. And this is on page 106. The late Governor Hutchinson, in his history of New England, observed the natives showed courtesy to the English at their first arrival, were hospitable, and made such as would eat their food welcome to it, and readily instructed them in planting and cultivating the Indian corn. Some of the English who lost themselves in the woods and must otherwise have perished with famine, they relieved and conducted home.
So I'm just looking up something here.
And then this is on page 108. It says, Du Pratt, in his history of Louisiana, says that upon an acquaintance with the Indians, he was convinced that it was wrong to denominate them savages.
Wow.
You see? As they are capable of making good use of their reason, and their sentiments are just. They have a degree of prudence, faithfulness, and generosity exceeding that of nations who would be offended at being compared with them.
That's peculiar people right there, man.
That's
peculiar people, man.
And this is the devil speaking, man.
Hey, his own tongue, man.
Hey, isn't that?
Because yeah, people said, "Oh, this is how you guys trust the devil." Well, this is Slacky. This is where to find that scripture, man. Slacky, go ahead, go Barbara. You were gonna say something. I'm just gonna find this one scripture.
The city of peace. Because Jake ain't really trying to just look for war like that, man. You know, hey, isn't not Jake the one defending Esau all the time when we're out in the highways and byways? It comes to show you they're the ones that are quick to squash a problem and back it up and show love and all that. But you're doing it.
It's true. Yeah. No, that's true, man. This is Job 15:6. This is the point I was saying. Thine own mouth condemneth thee, and not I. Yea, thine own lips testify against thee.
That's right. They tell themselves, man.
Yeah.
So this is back here. It says, No, I'm gonna read this part again, the highlighted part. They have a degree of prudence, faithfulness, and generosity exceeding that of nations who would be offended at being compared with them.
That's part of the law, right there, man.
Yeah, Khan.
So Gad was law abiding when Esau came over here, man.
That's right. Yeah, to a degree. It says, no people, says he, are more hospitable and free than the Indians.
Hey, that's what you know. Before Esau came and put us in captivity, we truly knew what being free was, man. We're free, man. We're so free and so at peace and to a degree with them that they were even astounded. This is a nation that was as peaceable as the Indians, man. Probably like, nah, man. They're setting us up, man. Like, imagine now in this modern day era, you'll never find a person like that, especially a nation. You know, imagine to find one person that's able to be peaceable and agree with you and not have any friction with you, and then to say your whole nation is like that. Yo, that's on this time, man.
That's Israel.
I got this is Psalms 55 and 20. It says, he hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant. He came to the Native Americans. Native Americans made peace with him. And what did he do? He came and he ransacked them and jacked them up. And then he how peaceful we were. But then he'll write about how he slayed millions of us and how he couldn't stop slaying millions of us because we were that easy to take down. Mm-hmm. That's all I had. Actually, Slakia, let me go to verse 21. It says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. You know, as Esau was saying, his thank you for keeping us warm in the wintertime. We had nothing. In the back of their heads, they're like, yo, we got to rob these guys, man. We got to
Hey, there are instances where they would do those peaceful ceremonies, and Esau would bring certain like drinks as a commemoration, you know, like some tea or whatever, even some spirit or the liquor, and it was poison. And then when they drank it, the leaders died in a so-called like peace assembly or whatever.
Okay. Esau used that scripture to say what favor and is cool. You know, Esau showed God favor. He's like, oh, you know, we good. Let's have a treaty, and he totally stabbed him.
Yeah, gifts. Remember, a big part of it was gifts, man. We even showed you that in Fast Forward. When they shot it in Brazil, the head boss, it was a Portuguese guy. He said, it was like a small clip where he's trying to like discipline one of his subordinates, and he's like when the Spanish came to these shores, they came in guns blazing, and the natives destroyed them completely. He's like, I like the approach of the Portuguese. They came with gifts, you know, and good words. And now today, this is why every Brazilian speaks Portuguese, because they colonized them. You know, that's why it says a gift destroyed the heart.
That came slick, man.
I mean, that's why Esau is ready to hand over a gift, man. That's why he says what he seeks to please the poor. You know, he gives your little 1-2 ornaments, man, like your little dollar stores here, or you know, he might go around and give you maybe like a free meal. Hey, don't they not do that? McDonald's, you can get coupons where they half it off, or you can get a free meal, but it's giving you what? Poison, man. It's the same thing to the Native Americans. We're doing it now in these restaurants, man. Oh, get half off or free that, man. Causing your own death, man. Creating your cancers through the food, everything, man.
Right.
Yeah, that's why there was I think it was in Shakespeare, Macbeth, which in high school they made me study that, which was Jake anyway. there's a part where it says behind men's smiles, daggers, daggers. You know, and
Behind
that's
every
Esau,
smile
man.
is what? A dagger?
Behind
That's
men's
right there.
smiles are daggers,
Gun,
or there's daggers in men's smiles, so to speak. You know,
gun.
and that's Esau, man. He'll be smiling, man. You know, tucks on, tie. You know, shaking her hand.
Yo,
Gun.
movies, man. You know when they're in the movies and it's like the person's playing as a bad guy, Edomite, and they'll like be around the table or whatever, and they're like doing a drink, and let's say the drink is poison, like you're saying, and then all of a sudden the man's choking, and Esau's there smiling like, "Well, it was a good pleasure working with you, my good champ." Like like
Yeah.
that's what Esau does, man. He's smiling while watching you die, man. Oh,
Game all the time. It's a game. This nigga, yeah, I got a precept. This is going further down to Sirach. Sirach 12 and 16. It says, "An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit." It says, "He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood." It's it says verse 17, "If adversity come unto thee, thou shalt find him there first. And though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee, and will shake his head and clap his hands, and whisper much, and change his countenance." You know, so this guy's an ultimate two-face, man. An ultimate two-face. If adversity come onto thee, you're gonna find him there first, man, because he's a part of it, man.
Con.
You know, we set it up.
I have a quick precept. This is prayer of Azariah, 1 and verse 8, and it says, "Wherefore all that thou hast brought upon us, and everything that thou hast done to us, thou hast done in true judgment. And thou didst deliver us into the hands of lawless enemies, most forsakers of the Most High, and to an king, and the most wicked in all the world."
That's Esau right there.
On top of Esau,
But
you know, and an unjust king. Yo, look at Trump. Trump is causing all type of it comes to show you how much hatred they have for us. Look at the people on welfare, man. That gets the food stamps. Now he sends you a little package of food.
Yeah, I saw that video.
That's an unjust right there, man. And it says, and the most wicked in all the world. I mean, so the nation of Esau cannot be touched when it comes to wickedness, man.
You take the cake, man.
Fun, man. The so-called white race is the number one evildoer on the planet. You can't even say, "Oh, what about that?" When they come up and they say, "What about the Arabs?" Or "What about the Africans?" Right now, you have the power, and you're causing hell for every single nation. All right.
Esau studied history, and he saw, and the scriptures say he's wise than Daniel. There's no secret hidden from thee. So he's seen the worst of every nation, and he's doing everything that they were doing, man. That's why we call him Sodom, Gomorrah, Egypt, Assyria, Babylon, because he's doing the same. The scriptures call him an idolater, and he was the scripture. What does it say in the book of Psalms? Oh, virgin, daughter of Edom, who are to be destroyed.
Con.
Because they were following after Babylon. Is it daughter of Babylon? Okay, daughter of Babylon. Because he teamed up with the Babylonians to take us out. So Esau's he doesn't learn from other nations' mistakes, man.
We can bring on one more scripture and close up.
I have a quick precept. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 12, verse 11. It says, "For it was a cursed seed from the beginning, neither didst thou for fear of any man give them pardon, for those things wherein they sinned. For
And that proves that them Christians talk about, oh, Satan uses men and the devil is not talking about people and all this shit. Well, they just said it's a cursed seed, man.
Right.
You know? So there's a seed upon this earth or nation that's cursed, you know? Like eternally, man. That's the Medomites, because from cradle to grave, you guys are cursed. Your upbringing was cursed, and then your expiration is going to be cursed because you're just going to be burnt up in a pit.
Con.
You know?
does it not say
There's
that?
gonna be a curse in that.
God, it says in Isaiah 34, where it says, "Even the people of my curse to judge me, man." You're not gonna escape out of that.
My sword shall come up all I do me, and people my curse.
Mhm.
Verse 12, it says, "Who shall say, what hast thou done, or who shall withstand thy judgment, or who shall accuse thee from the nations that perish, whom thou made, or who shall come to stand against?"
Everyone.
It says, "And who shall come to stand against thee to be revenged for the unrighteous man?" Man. You know? So right there, it goes to show you the Most High will have revenge on Esau, man, for everything that you guys have done, and no one's gonna be there to defend you. No one's gonna stand up in your face, especially when they see you shine his power. Ain't nobody trying to plead you into the kingdom at that point. They're like, well, too bad for you, man. You're on your own. You shouldn't have did that, bro. Gone, man.
Con. The scriptures say he shall not be joined in burial, man.
Gone.
You know, no one's gonna stick up for Esau and get laid out. You know, when Yahushua comes back, or in that day, man. You know, Esau's gonna get the worst, man. Jacob's gonna be a fire and Esau stubble, man.
Gone.
You know.
That was it.
Yeah, that was it.
All right. So with that, we want to say Kal Halal, like Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Rakadash,
Gosh.
double honors into the apostles of GMS who rule well. Salutations to the brothers and sisters. Okay, key. All right. Until next time, we say Shalom.
Shalom.
And Kwame Yasharallah.
Kwame Shalom. Shalom.